Bright light city, gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn, so get those stakes up higher.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Las Vegas. It's showtime. Love her tender, love her sweet, never let her go. You have made his life complete, and he loves you so. Love him tender, love her true, all your dreams fulfill. For my darling, he loves you, and he always will. Get ready, Tom. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Daddy, ladies and gentlemen, right there, yes.
All right, and who gives this lady to be married?
Well, on behalf of all their families and all their friends, the king of rock and roll.
All right.
Tom, congratulations. Thank you so much. Teresa,
Thank you.
happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Get real close.
Right. Well, we're here this evening in the sight of these witnesses and in the sight of God to renew the vows of marriage after 25 years. Huh? Congratulations. Between the two of you, Tom and Teresa. Tom, do you renew your vows of love and fidelity and commitment to your wife Teresa? Do you promise to continue to love her and to cherish her and care for her?
I do.
Forsaking all others, keep her only unto you as long as you both shall live.
I do.
And Teresa, do you renew your vows of love and fidelity and commitment to your husband Tom? Do you promise to continue to love him and to cherish him? Also forsaking all others, keep him only unto you as long as you both shall live.
I do.
Good, good, good. You made the grade, huh? Very good. Well, I'm sure you plan to continue making your relationship a very, very successful experience, huh, for the rest of your lives.
Absolutely.
That's the idea, right?
That's right.
Good thing is, it was also God's idea from the very beginning, you know, that marriage was the best relationship we could ever enter into. So he gave it the potential for most fulfillment. And for that, he intended to do a whole lot of work in our lives, you know, because when we get into the world, we're pretty self-centered people, right? We get into the world that way, you know, and then he gives us all these mushy and gooey feelings, so we get together, you know, because if we really know what the other is like, maybe we wouldn't get together in the first place, you know what I mean? Just ask around. You know? Anyway, he wants to take us from childhood into adulthood, and then finally, you know, to being married couple with children to raise and demonstrate to the family the best way to do things. So your kids seem pretty happy, right? They must be doing a good job, right? Mom and dad together 25 years later, you know, that's rare those days. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you learn from them. They're doing a good job. Good support system, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, the good thing also, God gave us an instruction manual to go along, so we wouldn't mess up too much and end up miserable. You know, I mean, we're very complex people, right? Nobody ever gets in this position with the intention to fail, you know what I mean? And if you're like everybody else, you know, we had our ups and downs and in the marriage relationship. Unless you're on your way to the Guinness Book of World Records. We never had any problem in all of our life. Wouldn't that be nice? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. And it's through these problems that God actually uses, he actually uses these times of trials to train us to become less self-centered. Yeah. Because in the Bible, he gives us a complete description of what perfect love is, and that's what he wants us to grow into. And true love, according to the Bible, is in the end completely selfless. It always cares more for the well-being and the happiness of the other first, and that's kind of contrary to our grain, you know what I mean? Yeah, pretty much it's all about us first, right? So, but you look like you've done pretty good, huh? Holding hands and smiling and everybody happy. That's wonderful time, yeah. So you had some good training, right? Yeah, good training inside business, yeah. See, there's many basic needs that God built inside of us, you know, so we complete each other, and we also get trained to become more mature. And those needs are very important to understand, because it's when those needs are not filled that the trouble starts to brew along, because we can't fill them up ourselves. That's why we end up getting married, right? Your wife always expects you to fill her needs, and your husband always expects you to fill his. Remember that, you kids. And when it's your turn, you know. And so, yeah, it's very, very important to understand. There's many of those needs. So in the Bible, God has given us insights into what all his needs are, plus everything else we need to know about marriage and life. Okay? He built us. He knows how we function. It's up to us to study the manual, live by its principles. One of the most important needs that your wife has, that you are to fill throughout her whole life consistently, if not even her greatest need, is for her to always stay completely safe and secure in and of your love. Must never, never, never give her an opportunity to doubt it. Many reasons throughout life, but also she will bloom the best when she's loved the most. So she needs an overdose of love, comparatively. Yeah. And since love can't be seen at all unless it is demonstrated and expressed, the easiest way, the painless way to do that, just tell her every day how much you love her, how much she means to you. And during the year, you buy her some little gifts here and there, flowers and things, even if it's not a birthday. Especially when it's not a birthday, big points. Oh, yeah. Also, God commands us in the Bible to deal with our wives in an understanding way, because he made ladies more sensitive than he made us. In general, we heard for 5 minutes and get it over with, but they can go on, right? 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, Some say to me, 5 years, 10 years. We heard too, but they heard much deeper and much longer than we do. So God wants us to give our wives an overdose of love and understanding. The wife, in turn, according to the Bible, is to respect the husband. Not because he's better or more important than you, of course, but because there are different basic needs that have to be filled, like this. But more than that, he blooms the best when he's trusted the most, respected the most. Big issues with guys. Just as they are important for you with love and understanding, they're important for us with trust and respect. And don't get me wrong, because we all need all of that. Actually, the more of everything on both sides by each other, the better. So the issue is certainly not that ladies deserve less respect than we do in God's economy, as some people think that's what that means. Or that we deserve less love than you do. I mean, it's foolish thinking all around. The issue is this: because of those built-in needs that he put inside of us, so we complement each other, and a few other very, very, very important reasons to understand. Needs that must be filled, the negative reactions begin to show when they're not. Pretty simple. Yeah. And at that point, some really interesting chain reactions begin to take place back and forth. You don't look like you've experienced any of those things. You look so happy together. But when they come, there are pretty interesting chain reactions when those things don't get filled, And and they're important to understand, because they serve to help us to identify inside of ourselves some areas of weaknesses that we need to work at overcoming. Because we don't always respond the way we should or could in those times, right? It's like God telling us you need to become more patient, more kind, gentle, understanding, loving, trustworthy, faithful, dependable, accountable, responsible, forgiving, all kinds of things. Because you got to keep that in mind. God has designed the marriage relationship as a platform to give us an opportunity to go more mature. So in the end, we're more complete, more fulfilled, more settled, more peaceful, a whole lot wiser, Yeah, it's up to us to respond to the invitation to improve on ourselves when we see those weaknesses coming up. Yeah, and since he uses each one of you to help the other identify their weaknesses, well, remember that next time your wife gives you an opportunity to do so. The same for you, young lady. It works both ways. Remember that to you too, girl. Yeah, when it's your turn. Very important principles. They're foundational for successful relationships. There's many more of them. Some more profound that I shared here with deeper ramifications. And it's only if we walk in the ways that God has designed the marriage to function that it will become what he means for it to be, which is what we want it to be. Rich, rewarding experience that gets better and better and better over the years. Yeah, so you keep up the good work, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Demonstrate your kids the right way to do things, so the wrong way, right? So you did well so far, you keep up good